Yo, what is up, guys? I'm here with
What
Violent
up?
Panda. I am
Yo, yo, yo.
Virge. We're going to be doing an AMA with some questions you guys had on Twitter and Instagram, and I think we'll be answering some questions in Twitch chat towards the end as well. So, why don't we just get right into the first question?
Which is
Our first question is from B Oved or B Ovid or Boved. I don't know how to say it. It is for me. It says, "How did you become an official Rocket League coach?"
Waterboy, but yeah, go ahead.
It kind of fell in my lap actually. I was managing Allegiance, and when Allegiance organization found out that I was grand champion in Rocket League, they asked me if I could coach the team, and so I just kind of started practicing it and just got better and better at it until I was confident enough to do it on my own and like offer my services for individuals on Gamers Ready, and then an opportunity came up with Dignitas. I applied for it, and here we are. So
And
that's
then he got carried by me, Astro Yukio, and that's
okay.
where he is now. Okay.
Next question. Question number 2 is from Palix Malix. Says, Violent
Yes.
Panda, I've noticed you recently switched to Fennec instead of the Dominus. What made you make the switch, especially after using the Dominus for so long?
So I swapped to the Dominus in the first place from Octane. I think was it last season, Virge? It was
Yeah, you
during
were
the
Dominus last
I
season.
was during the Barcelona series. And it was like I wanted something new, and that's why I switched to Dominance. And it's the same thing here with the Fennec. I felt that like when was playing Dominance for a while, I was feeling a little bit stagnant and nothing. Like it was getting a little boring, so I wanted to change to the Fennec to make it a little bit more exciting for myself. And I feel like the Fennec has more control in general in my play. The Dominance is like long and skinny, makes it good in the air, but I feel like Fennec has more control in general. That's why I swapped to it. So
Okay.
yeah, that's it.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah,
Good
thank you,
answer.
thank you, thank you.
Greetsin Gastra. I hope I said that right because I put an accent on it that probably isn't accurate. How much time do you need to invest to become a pro in Rocket League? I don't think that's an answerable question with like a number. It's
No,
different for everybody.
there is people that have 10K hours and they're still not even close to being pro. So, but you do need to invest a lot of time because all the pros and dude have at least like 5K. I'd say like average 5K hours or more.
I mean, yeah, there are some I think that are like the very lowest, maybe 4, but I think that in a matter of like how much time, there's no real answer as a number. It's just got to be a priority in your life. Like it has to be one of your first priorities in order to
I
make it as a
mean,
professional in this game, I think.
you could say if you just put the time in, you will become a pro, but that's not the case in my opinion. Like you have to have some special talents as well.
Hmm.
Have some special insight. I mean, you can always try to improve, but to actually become a pro, it also, in my opinion, takes something special that has to come from yourself, and you can teach yourself that about having, for example, rotations. Like got to be smart with them. You can't just study rotations and do them properly. You also have to be smart with them in game.
Yeah, there has to
So
be
yeah,
like a standout factor that makes you stand out from everybody else. But yeah, it doesn't take X amount of time. It just depends on, different for everybody how quickly you improve. But I would agree there has to be something about you that stands out from everybody else as well.
yep.
Next question.
Okay, Noli. Can we ban Noli from the chat real quick? Okay.
E. Wayneck says, "Is it hard to sacrifice time and family for Rocket League?" Do you want to answer that first, or you want me to?
It's hard to sacrifice time and family for Rock League. It's not hard. I mean, I've always gamed in my life, so there's no difference in gaming and normally and trying to practice in Rock League, in my opinion. Yeah, like that's my opinion. It's not hard. You just have to. I don't know. It's the same as a job, right? You're going to your job in the morning at 8 a.m. and you're not seeing your family till 5 p.m., right? It's the same in gaming and Rock League or like being bro.
For me, it's a little hard. Yeah, I think that it's taken a lot of time away from. I live with my girlfriend. We've been together for almost 6 years now, and it's taken a lot of time, a lot of my availability away from being available when she's home. So like, I do content creation, and Panda's starting to do it as well now. So he's understanding what the time commitment it takes. But working professionally and then doing content, it's a lot. It takes a toll on your schedule, and so like a majority of my day and night I'm spending on Rocket League, and yeah, it is difficult to make that sacrifice sometimes, but I think that in the long run, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, it is, of course.
Okay.
Okay.
So next question 5. Did Ethan Cullen says, did winning regionals feel just as good as winning the world championship because there is no land this season?
No, no, it does not. Of course, it sucks. Like everyone said that there's no world championship, but we all understand because of Corona that there can't be a worlds. But yeah, winning regionals, it's like a mere victory. You know what I mean? Or how do you say it? Like it's like a small victory compared to worlds. Winning worlds is really the goal. Uh, being European champion helps, but yeah, it's not what we want, right, Virge?
Yeah, I mean, I've never won worlds, so I can't really compare the feelings, but I definitely know that winning worlds would feel much better. Just winning regionals felt really good because once it was announced that there was no worlds, everybody was taking the regionals much more seriously, and so everybody was really trying to win it. And it felt good to prove that out of everybody trying to win it, we were the best trying to win it, and it was really satisfying to get that victory over Vitality, especially. But comparably to Worlds, like even coming in third place at Worlds, just the amount of adrenaline and the feeling being on that stage in front of everybody, like that feeling alone, I think was better than winning regionals. So I can imagine winning Worlds is like exponentially better than that feeling.
Yeah,
So I
no,
can.
winning worlds in season. I mean, I won the world twice. I think season 5 is the better one because how
No
close the
big deal.
finals
I
was.
just won Worlds twice. Whatever.
You
No.
know, you know. Season 5 was the better one, like you comparing in like the intensity in the finals. But yeah, no, with a crowd, like the crowd, I think makes a difference in my
Yeah,
opinion. I
the
think a
live
crowd,
audience.
yeah, the live audience makes up like the difference in general. Regionals is boring. You're sitting in your room, just when I mean you're with your team, you win regionals, whatever. But like LAN, you have a whole crowd cheering and stuff. Like it makes it way better.
Yeah, it encourages you to celebrate more, I think.
Yep, yep.
Because you're celebrating with everybody in the room. Yeah, and so like when you're at home and you win regionals, we celebrated in Discord together, but once we all got off, it's like, I just had my
Yeah,
girlfriend here with me and we celebrated together, and I'm sure, Panda went with his family, Astral and Yukio went with their families, and so it's different than just like being together and being in that room with everybody celebrating.
true, true.
All right, next
All right.
question. We've got not underscore NRG. NRG, not actually Mark, says, who's your favorite Rocket League player apart from yourselves or anyone from Dignitas?
You can start this one.
Okay. Um, my favorite player, I think, is going to have to be Garrett G. He's somebody that I've always, before I was in the professional scene, he was somebody I always kind of looked up to in terms of his play style and his knowledge of the game and the way he played. He always just seemed like a really smart player, really consistent, really solid. And I've learned a lot from watching him. So he's had a huge influence on how I see the game, coming in from just an outside perspective and working my way into the professional scene. I've used a lot of information that I've gotten from his gameplay.
I was gonna say Garrett, but since you said it, I'll say Kadop because me and Kadop have some history. You know, we were in the team. We had a lot of good fun. We were good friends, and I think we still are, even though we don't spend much don't spend time together at all. But like, I still respect Kadop the most. I think what he's achieved and how good of a player he is.
Yeah, and you can tell you guys know each other well just from the way y'all like the two teams that y'all are on. Even though you don't have like complete control over your team, you can tell that you have an influence on how your team's playing when you're playing against each other, because you know how each other plays and you know what each other wants to do. So it's actually really interesting watching you guys play against each other. You can see how much you guys know about each other on the field.
Okay, well, I didn't notice that, but sure. You mean me and Kadop? No, we don't play anymore. Like,
So for those who can't hear,
yeah,
our admin just
yeah.
asked Panda if him and K-Dop play together outside of tournaments.
Wait, what? Anyway, uh, I mean, I don't play with Kate up anymore now. We, I mean, we come and like see each other and rank the shit, but now we don't spend time anymore. Yeah. OT.
Okay. Next question. What aspect? This comes from Elijah Johnson or EA Johnson 463. What aspect of the game makes it so special compared to other games?
I mean, it's a unique game, in my opinion. Everything makes it special. Compared to other games. I mean, you have football, and which you could compare to FIFA, I guess, but it's nowhere close to FIFA, in my opinion. It's just an I don't know, like it's just like its own game. Nothing is comparable, and that's why I think Rocket League is also so good. There's FPS shooters that are all like, for example, like comparable. Rocket League is its own thing, you know. Wait, did you
We have
put
the
the wrong
wrong.
question on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
got the
you put
wrong question on screen.
yeah, yeah.
We on what aspect of the game makes it so special compared to other teams?
Go one backfill. Okay, I'll tell you again, stream, what the question was. What aspect of the game makes it so special compared to other games? That was the question. The admin doesn't have the question on stream, that's why. But that was the question, and in my opinion, Rocket League is so it's just its own game. That's what I was explaining. There's no other game like it, so everything makes it special.
Yeah, I think what makes Rocket League stand apart from other games is the fact that the movement is 100% controlled by you. There's no animations like in other games. You press a certain button or a certain combination of buttons, and you always get the same result. You press one button and your character passes the ball in FIFA or shoots the ball in FIFA. In Rocket League, there is no set animation. You have to create that animation with complete control of your car, and I think that's what really sets this game apart from other games. Is it allows you to gain complete control and make complete decisions on what you want to do with the ball and with your car in the game. And so it's 100% physics, and it's almost like a sport where you have to condition your body being the car, to know what you need to do without having to think about it. You just do what you think. So I think that's what really makes it feel like a sport compared to other video games.
True. Also, someone says in chat, the spectators really make a difference. Yep.
Yeah. So the next question is for Panda from Felution or Felution X. How was it? How was it like rebuilding the team? And did you believe there was two players with a perfect match? Like I'm assuming outside of K-Dop and Turbo to replace them.
Yeah, he means this team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like rebuilding team. It was. I mean, everyone says being a pro is. I mean, it's not nobody says it's easy, but like he's just playing games.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
he
he
plays
he
video
has
games.
he has a real good. He's just playing games. Which, in my opinion, I do have it good. No, I'm not saying I don't have it good, but yeah, it's real stressful being a pro. And
It's
in
not as
situations
easy as
like
people make it seem.
it's like in situations like that where a man just left my team, like I have to do, like it's very stressful to find another teammate and get through everything like that and stuff, um which is a lot of work. And yeah, when Turbo left, well, in the first place, when K-Dop left, right, we had to find someone, which was Yukio. We just saw Yukio as a mechanical player. We, like, I'm gonna be honest, picking Yukio, we didn't do that much research, and it didn't work out that well. Like the team didn't fit well together, me, Turbo, and Yukio. So that didn't work out well as we planned. We did manage to take it back a little bit in the end of the season, but then we threw in the regionals. Well, someone threw. I'm not putting things there.
But it wasn't me.
Well, no. No, but then the next season, we Turbo was leaving and Turbo was getting out of the team, so I really had to scout someone out. Snasky, our coach back then, really helped me out with this as well. But yeah, I went to Snasky and said, "Yo, this Astro kid's really looking good. I kind of want to like look what he's doing and stuff. Like I want to try him out." And then we managed to, go to a DreamHack. I think it was DreamHack Montreal. No, it wasn't in Montreal. It was
No,
any.
it was Valencia.
No. The one, like, I talked to Astral in a DreamHack before where he was playing
Okay.
one method. So I think it was like Atlanta or something. But yeah, I approached
Maybe
Astral.
Dallas.
Oh, Dallas, maybe, yeah, Dallas. So I approached Astral in a store there. I think it was in the morning. I was buying some stuff, and I was like, "Yo, Astral, yo, I know you're at Meta right now, and I know they're looking to sign you, but can you like not sign yet? Because we're looking, maybe to try you out." And he was like over the moon. Yeah, he wanted to completely try us out, and he was real happy then. And that's how it started. And since then, we've been working real hard. Like, it wasn't a perfect match in the start. Astro did not know how to play threes at all in the start. Like, it was a great mechanical player, but rotation was pretty bad. So it wasn't a perfect match in the start. But we did have to, work real hard to get back where we were and shape him into the player we wanted him to be and the team we wanted to be. Because yeah, it wasn't easy in the start, but we managed to pull it off, right?
I'd say so.
Okay.
Okay. Next question is from Neo Here TV or Landon Carter. Shogun mentioned during the EU finals that this amazing roster was almost quote unquote handcrafted by ViolentPanda himself. Does he feel like this team is quote unquote his creation, or did the puzzle pieces just fall into place to create an amazing roster that plays very well? I think you answered some of that already, in that, like, you said we've had to work really hard to get from the original team after everybody got picked up to where we are now. Um, in that, like, it didn't just fall into place. It was a lot of hard work that came to get us from where we were to where we are. But do you feel like you handpicked the players that we've got?
I'd say Astral. So yeah, me and Snasky. Well, first me, then Snasky. We scouted Astral out and tried to get him to try out and stuff. And yeah, we managed to get him. And I mean, if you mean that I handcrafted the roster, yeah, I kind of did, scout Astral out and
Mm-hmm.
got him on the team.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a double up on the question before.
Yeah.
Next question. If you had to choose, this comes from Emily, one of our female
Yeah,
CSGO
yeah.
players. It says, if you had to choose between eating a PB&J sandwich or a bologna sandwich for the rest of your
Okay.
life, which would it be and why? And then she tagged, excuse me, the sandwich place which. Me,
Okay.
I think between the two, I'd have to go PB&J. I feel like there's more variety on a PB&J than a bologna sandwich, and I'm
I
just not that huge of a fan of bologna. I don't know.
So I looked up, like, I'm not American guy, so I looked up bologna, and it's bologna just like meat, right? It's just meat,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
right?
It's
But
just like a slice of meat.
I also saw pictures on there with meat and cheese. Is it just literally meat, or is it meat and cheese?
So it seems like she just thinks it's like the way she just the meat, because you can make
Just
bologna
the meat.
sandwiches with like cheese and stuff on it. But
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
maybe you can make whatever kind of bologna sandwich you want whenever you make it. It just has to be bologna.
So I thought about this. Here comes my opinion. If I'd have to choose one that I would want to eat right now, it's a peanut butter jelly. But I
Mhm.
feel like I would get tired of it real fast. So I would pick
Really,
bologna over PBG if I have to eat it the rest of my life.
I
I
don't think
think.
I'd get tired of a PB&J.
I mean, it's more unhealthy than bologna. So like, I guess I'll choose that, right?
I don't know the health aspects of bologna. I don't know the exact ingredients. So,
True.
but PB&J, I think I could live on a PB&J. That's for sure. Bologna, not so much.
Okay.
Okay, next question comes from Kaiser or AS Kaiser. First of all, congrats on the big win. Thank you. Absolute masterclass this season. Really enjoyed watching all your series. Question: was there a mentality switch between the semifinals and the finals? Because the semi was much closer, in my opinion, than the finals, where you all showed up better.
Do you want to answer it first?
Yeah, I can answer first. Yes, definitely. There's definitely like a mentality switch. Um, in the Mouse series, there was some like complications on the team, and I think the comms video that's coming out on maybe Panda's channel or Yukio's, either one of them might do it, might show some of it. But there was just some issues, like disagreements on the team that went further than they needed to, and they weren't kind of handled properly, and they just caused tension in the team, and there was like a lack of trust because of it. And afterwards, we all talked and we all, got through what we had to get through, and went from that mentality of like we disagree on something to it's in the past. Let's move on and focus on what's ahead of us, and completely ignore any issues that we've had or anything that's going on right now. We put aside, and vitality. I think that our mentality was just no matter what's going on anywhere in life right now, this game is what matters, and let's focus on this game. Let's play this game so that at the end of the day, win or lose, we can go home knowing that we played that game with full focus and didn't allow anything to affect the way that we were playing.
Yeah, like you said, I'll probably put a comms video out. I think one is working on the mouse one right now. My editor is working on the mouse one right now, so you guys will see what happened there. But yeah, we did, or like there was some disagreements in the team, and that's probably why it also wasn't as good as the final, where Virge said we did play together very well, and there was no bad feelings. We all talked it out, and that's why we played, in my opinion, pretty good. Pretty good.
Arguably,
Pretty
perfect Rocket
decent.
League.
Pretty decent.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. We were looking
Alright.
okay. We were
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
okay. But yeah, there was definitely a mentality switch, and just honestly, the energy and environment that we were all in changed from the mouse to the Vitality series.
Yeah. Okay.
Next question comes from Rip Fives or Justin. What does each player and coach bring to the team? Why don't you start this, Panda?
What does each player? Let's start with Yukio. Does he mean like in the game, or does he mean outside the game? Or
I
I
think he
guess
just
both,
means, yeah, like anything and everything.
right? Okay, I'd say Yukio in the game brings speed. He's pretty speedy. Makes the pace go a little faster sometimes. He's also a smart player at times. Astral brings his mechanics to the play. Also, team plays with me, in my opinion. He's pretty good at finding me and him. Like finding us together. Yeah, obviously his mechanics and like the threat of him doing something solo is
Yeah.
scary for the opponent. Coach, I mean, he brings me water here and there, but that's about it. Yeah, you.
Okay. Yeah, so each of the players, Panda is definitely a really, really smart player. He sees the team game really well, and that's kind of what his specialty is understanding what his role needs to be for his teammates, not necessarily what he wants to do on the field. But he's really, really good at noticing, where he needs to be based on his teammates, based on the opponents, where he needs to get the ball to his teammates or around his opponents. But that team mindset, he thinks, as a unit with the team really well. And he's got a good work ethic. Yukio's the same way. His work ethic's really, really high. Yukio really likes to work on things that he needs to get better at. He likes to always have something to be improving, and so his work ethic is really high. So he's always constantly improving on the next thing. And mechanically, he's really quick as well. So he brings that. And then Astral, like Panda said, the mechanics of it, it's just something that like you have to fear as an opponent. You have to look at him and respect all of his options. And realistically, Astral, you can't really see all of his options because he's just so mechanical. It's difficult to really know what he's thinking. And so that threat of him doing something that you don't know is always there. And him and Panda's got a really good eye for passing. Astral's got a really good eye for it as well, and creating that shot out of nowhere. So the two of them are able to connect really well with passing. I think Astral's mechanics allow him to pass in some positions that most players wouldn't be able to get it. And all three of them just work together really well as a cohesive unit when they're all on the same page. What do I bring to the team? I mean, it's just kind of, I guess, as a coach, discipline, like making sure that the players are always focusing on where they need to improve next. And I think that that's huge because a lot of players stop focusing on what they need to improve next, and they just think that where they are is good, and they'll just keep getting better with time. I think that level of discipline is really important to make sure that they're always focusing on what they can improve on next.
Don't believe him, Chet. He just brings water.
and lots of water.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Jella Rosen. Hope I said that right. How do you keep the morale up so high even when you're one goal away from a loss?
Um, being positive, I guess. When there is bad feelings, we talk it out. Um, yeah, I don't know. When we were down a 3-0 against Barcelona last season, did we reverse sweep also a best of seven this season? No, right? Or was it
No,
best of few best of fives, right?
probably best
Anyway,
of fives.
we have a tendency of going behind in a lot of series and then coming back from them, just because I don't know, we have problems in the start and then we always talk it out like later in the series. And I think that's also one of the reasons why we play better after, like, losing a couple games, because we talk it out and see what's going wrong and telling all the players, yo, this is going wrong, and you know, no complaining carrot in the team. No, we don't have a fruity in the team. But yeah, we always talk our like issues out, and I think that's the main reason of why we have to come, or why we come back so often.
Yeah,
In my
I
opinion.
think I also think it's a decision, like making that decision going into the series before you get anywhere, before you're up or before you're down. I think that making the decision to stay positive before you go into the series is what allows us to do it as well, because we're really good about just like he said, talking it out and finding the problems. And so we know going into a series that no matter where we end up, there's always the potential to win it. And so being one goal away from losing, it doesn't really, I don't think it applies the pressure that it normally would, because we're always in that mindset of we can't let that goal in, because that one goal is always one step closer to losing anyway. So the mindset for us is always, whatever has happened has already happened. We can't control it. We just have to focus on what's next, and that's where talking it out comes in. We talk about the things that we need to improve on in the moment. We figure things out in that moment, and we're all really honest with each other. We all trust each other really well, so that we all know nobody's flaming anybody. Nobody's saying like, hey, you need to do this because I think you suck. They're saying, hey, I know you're better than this, and this is where you need to step it up because that's what the team needs. So it's all more encouragement than kind of like saying anything about each other that's bad. It's more of just we know that the person's better than what they're doing, and we're able to kind of lift them up and focus on the next step.
And when I tell Yukio, like we've like grown trust around each other. For example, if I tell Yukio, yo, you're being really bad, like you just said, we don't tell each other that we're shit and stuff. But like,
Mhm.
if I do tell Yukio, yo, you're being pretty bad at taking your time, then he doesn't get mad at me for saying that. He appreciates it and try to improve on that, and the same otherwise, right?
Right, yeah, like we're all
Serious.
like yeah, we trust each other, and anybody can call anything about anybody. And it's just a matter of what you see, you tell your teammates so that they're aware of it and they know that they have to work on
Yeah. All right. Next question.
it. Katie said, "Why is there a rat on the couch?"
True.
um, Holy Avocados, shout out my boy Holy Avocados, Miles. What's your favorite memory since joining Dignitas? You have a longer standing relationship with Dignitas, so why don't you start?
Um, yeah, I guess. Wait, yeah, season 4 was with Guildford, season 5 was with Dignitas. So, I mean, obviously, it's season 5 for me because it was London, the best land there ever was. We won that with Dignitas, which was our first tournament with Dignitas actually as well, because we got picked up right before that land. So yeah, I guess it was the first and best one there was, right? In my opinion.
I think it's going to be biased here just because this was my first world championship, but my favorite memory is Madrid. I had a lot of fun in Madrid, and honestly, maybe being on stage during that game 6 overtime, not just the overtime, but that whole game, like where the crowd was just behind Dignitas the whole time, and just feeling the energy of the crowd when they started celebrating, not because somebody scored or somebody made a save, but they just started celebrating because of how high of a level they were watching. Like that feeling in that moment, being a part of the the competition of those people, like what they're watching and what's going on the stage and everything, just being up there and feeling that energy was just like I've never felt anything like that. So I definitely think that's going to stay with me like the rest of my life, and that's definitely my favorite moment since I've joined Dignitas.
He's just a rookie chat. He doesn't know. Okay, next.
Yeah, it's an unreal level of energy being up there with the crowd being behind you. It's not anything I can explain.
Yeah.
Eamon Mahdi, I hope I said that right, asks, what is the best goal you've seen in a competitive environment like RLCS or any other tournaments?
Um, I mean, I think from a long time ago it was this squishy goal,
The
the
sewer
where
shot?
he. But like, funny thing, I wasn't there in the audience watching that shot. I
Really?
was in the player lounge, but like, I think if I was in the audience, it would have been a better experience for
Yeah.
me and like goal. But like now that goal is like peanuts, like
Yeah, it's easy.
anyone can pull that goal off. But back then,
At that moment.
that was a real good goal from Swishy. Like at that moment, I think it was season 4, right? Was it
Yeah,
season 4?
it was the one you guys won with Gale Force.
Yeah, it was season 4, and back then there was no well, there was mechanics, but nobody was really that mechanical, and
That was
it
the
was a
first
pretty,
ceiling
yeah,
shot
that was a pretty
in
impressive goal.
RLCS. Yeah, I was in the crowd for that. That was a crazy explosion of energy when he scored that, and like seeing him not make any facial expression after he did it. Everyone was like, "He's a machine. How does he do it?"
Yeah,
Not to be cliche, but I think Astral's goal, that triple tap flip reset, is probably one of the best goals that I've seen, just because it was such a high stakes environment, like being the regional finals, 0 seconds, and him being not a rookie, but it only being his second season. The fact that he was able to pull that off under such pressure, that was a really crazy shot, and it almost hits the ground too. Um, and then also the Justin goal, obviously, I think is going to be one of the best goals in competitive history for Rocket League, just because
yeah. I
you know
mean,
the amount of pressure on him. His Was that his rookie season, right? That was his first season
I
with
think so.
NRG,
I think so.
and being against Dignitas, where they're like coming off of those uh, wins, like or was it just the one win? Yeah, it was the one win
Um, what?
Worlds with Gil. Like you guys were defending your title essentially.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
like
but they were once here. They won against us on day 2 already, so like we had to come back, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Then
You guys had the two best of sevens.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, the fact that it was against that team in that kind of pressure in his rookie season, I think is going to put that down in history as the greatest Rocket League goal of all time. Even though it wasn't anything special mechanically or like flashy in any way, it was just the amount of pressure, the 0 seconds in the grand finals against the defending titles. Like it's just an unreal moment
yeah.
to be able to pull that off.
All right.
Okay,
Next one.
J Gallard
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
says, Virge, seeing that this RLCS can't happen at a venue, how do you think this will affect the team? So I'm assuming this question is asked in past tense, like before we made it to regionals. But as far as affecting the team, I think it does affect, and this goes for everybody, not just our team. I think it affects the drive. Like people aren't as motivated to grind as much because they realize, well, there's no reason to place top 4 this season as long as we stay in RLCS. It's not like we could have made it to Worlds. So I think it affects the level of drive, and it definitely affected the motivation for us. I mean, we still continued to work hard, but I could tell that we just weren't as dedicated because we didn't have that end goal of winning Worlds in our sight anymore. It was
And
a
top,
much shorter road.
like we made top 2, but getting top 2 was nothing for us. Like getting top 2 normally you would
Yeah,
make land, you would be over the freaking moon,
yeah.
and now it was like, yo, we're top
We
2.
made top 2. Like,
Okay,
great, we got a better seating in regionals.
nice. Let's go. Let's go. Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, in general, it was less hype and stuff.
it definitely affected the level of motivation that there was to continue improving as much as possible.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Um, so I
All
think
right,
that's all the
guys.
questions we have from Twitter and Instagram. So we'll be taking questions from Twitch chat now.
Starting now.
I think I've
Everyone that
already
asks a
seen a
question,
couple.
I know, but let's start from now. The people that ask a question now. Okay, how
Yeah.
do you warm up for matches? That was the first one I saw.
Okay, I'm gonna stop my scrolling. Yeah, how do we warm up for matches? There's, excuse me, there's a couple ways. We do scrims before our matches to get us in that pace to play. But we also do individual warm ups, like the players will go into free play. do some slow mo, get their mechanics on point. And there's a couple of private match drills as a team that we will do sometimes, depending on where I feel like we're standing in terms of chemistry. But there's
Yeah.
a couple different things that we do. But the main thing that I think everybody does is definitely scrimming an RLCS team or whatever level you're at, like an RLRS team, to get you in that pace of play.
Yeah, normally we just scrim, warm up in before the scrim. That's how we warm up. Okay. Who's the scariest team in scrims? Right now we're not scrimming. We're taking a little break because of we've been playing competitive for a long time now, and we
Two
have the
seasons
chance
in
to
a
take
row.
we have the chance to take a small break here before the spring split. So we're taking a small break. So right now I have no idea who the scariest in scrims is.
But in season, I think that vitality is always consistent in scrims, them
Yeah,
and reciprocity.
yeah, them and reciprocity in my opinion. Yeah.
Um, One is all the SARP cars are back except the Renegade. Would you like to see it back for the completion? I've never played SARP. I don't even know what the Renegade is.
Who's the? Oh, could I already asked that? I
Uh,
saw your tweet of today. You inspired me to also learn it. But how do you learn it, and what do you use the arrow right? Oh, what do you use the arrow right? Huh? Anyway, what I did was I got tips from Virge as well because he already played with arrow right. But
and I'm
yeah,
so
what
freaking good.
I wish I didn't say
Continue.
Virge.
Continue.
But yeah, what I did was I turned my normal arrow off, and I literally only put arrow right on, so I could only use arrow right, and there was no chance for me to go back to arrow. And I literally was sitting in free play, just flying around and messing around with the ball at first. Then I did a rings map where I would try to fly through the rings, have control with arrow right, and then eventually I played some ranked games on my Smurf to just like get used to it a little bit. And I'm still practicing. I'm still not great at it. Like I'm improving slowly.
How
Okay.
often does Astral use normal air roll? I don't think there's like an answer to that in terms of like he uses it X amount of time. It's all situational. Uh, I think that he uses his air roll binds more than he uses regular air roll, but he definitely incorporates his regular air roll where he needs to. So it's difficult to say exactly how often.
He himself says he used arrow left and right 95% of the time. So
Okay, there
that's
you
what he
go.
said himself.
Are your training sessions organized at all? Like, do you have a schedule to follow, or do you just free ball it or just scrim?
I
Yeah, we have a
mean, with
schedule.
the Verge. Okay.
I have a Google Calendar that I have us all connected to, and we put everything that we're doing on that calendar.
Yep.
Sometimes I mess it up. Sometimes I put the wrong times on there. Okay, but we do have a schedule that we follow, and it consists of scrims, it consists of drills, it consists of replays, but it's not just scrimming. It's whatever we need to do that week is on the calendar.
How much time do you spend practicing during a day? It differs. Right now we're taking a little bit of off time, but I am practicing myself to like practice the arrow right, since I've changed to it. But during the season, we at least do 2 hours of scrims a day. We do an hour replays most of the time a day, and then we outside of that also try to improve ourselves in like playing ourselves, and always try to improve yourself. But that's always random. The time we spent on our own. Sometimes I have a day where I don't play. Sometimes I have a day where I play a few hours. Sometimes I play like 5 hours. Like the time where I play myself, it's different every day.
Yeah, and realistically, if you're looking to see how much you should train, I would always say train more than you play. Meaning, train your mechanics and train your understanding of the game and replays and stuff more than you're playing online, because that's going to help you improve faster. You're not going to get better faster than training just by playing online.
Who do you think will win the promotion tournament? In my opinion, I think it will be Endpoint and RCD. In my opinion, I think RCD and Endpoint will take it.
I don't follow the RLRS scene as much as I need to, but I couldn't tell you. I'll go with Panda's picks.
I think
But
Endpoint and RCD have the best chance.
do you spend a lot of time training passes? Yeah, it's definitely something that we've spent a lot of time focused on for a while. Is that just that level of trust with like knowing where each other is, knowing how to get the ball to each other, it's definitely a skill that we've practiced.
And I've got to be honest, like I've always had passing like in my brain because we did that a lot on the old dig. Like there was our thing passing around and getting out of defense with passing, like counterattacks. So I've tried to implement that in future teams as well, which is I think one of the reasons why we pass a lot now as well because I brought it
Yeah,
with me.
yeah, you've got a really really good eye for
Um,
passing and finding those angles that most people just don't see.
and that's I think that's also why my like now my teammates like Yukio and Astral, I've got them real good at it, passing because we've just practiced it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Were KDOP's English comms as good as he told us?
Where? I don't see that question.
This is from Jesse as a simp. A little bit up. I'm scrolling down still with the
Oh,
question.
okay. Um, it's like honestly, his English was better than it is now. Like it's horrible right now. Like his English is terrible when I talk to him. But back then, it was like actually getting quite good. Well, not good, but like his English was getting quite decent. But since he left and he joined Vitality, which is a French org in a French team now, it's just absolutely garbage. His English is terrible right now.
Virge, how do I become a good water boy like you? I've just watched like stupid amounts of professional replays, and it just lets you understand how much water you think each player needs by watching their replays. You can kind of tell just by how they're playing. Oh, this guy needs some water. Let me get him some water. But definitely professional replays, like downloading the RLCS replays, watching them from professional perspectives, is going to help you understand that. Hey Virge, how many houses did you broke in lately? I don't
Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't know, man. Zero. I've never broken into a house. I mean, I
Does
broke
your
into my
back?
own house.
What? Did you?
Yeah, when I was younger, my mom locked me out because we were fighting, and so I like broke into my window in my room.
I actually broke in my own house as well. Um, I think I was like still like 11 or 12 years old, and my parents weren't home,
Oh no.
and my grandparents were supposed to be home, and I came back from school and nobody was home, and I was locked out of my house, and I was so mad. I didn't even mean to, but I was so mad like that I was locked out for like hours. Like I accidentally kicked out the door window. Like I was just kicking my door just to be mad, and I accidentally
Uh,
kicked the window out.
oh my god.
So
No,
I broke my door
the
when I
person
was
who
looking.
asked how many houses I broke into is Ricardo. I didn't realize that. I had to break into the Dignitas Airbnb when I was there in Newark for the Jersey, the Devils game. The Airbnb, you need the key, even if the door's not locked. You need the key to open the door. And I have a buddy that lives in Jersey who's coming to see me, so I was standing outside trying to like wave him down when he got there, and the door shut behind me. I didn't have the key, and so I had to use a clothes hanger to break into the
Oh,
Dignitas
good
Airbnb.
question. This is my mic, Palix Malix. It's the Shure SN7B. It's pretty expensive. It's like $400, and you have to get a mixer, which is like 100 ish. But like, it's one of the best mics in my opinion. Yukio uses it as well as now. I think Fruity uses it. Like a lot of streamers and podcast people use this mic. So if you want to spend money, this is the mic. You know.
I use the HyperX Quadcast, and in terms of pricing, it's actually pretty affordable compared to most professional mics. And
Yeah.
I use it for my YouTube. I use it for everything. So and I think the sound quality is pretty good. The only thing is you kind of have to keep it close to your mouth for it to pick up really well. But other than
Yeah.
that, the sound quality is really good on it.
It's just depends what you want to spend. If you want to like go for like actually one of the best mics, it's like something like this. But yeah, HyperX has good set like mics that are a little bit lower price that are still good.
Yeah, and I like the feature. It's touch to mute, so I just tap, light goes off, and it lets me know it's muted. Lights on,
Okay,
it's
okay,
unmuted.
baller.
Shout
Okay,
out,
baller.
shout out HyperX. Got the cloud flight S headset over here as well. Pick that up. Make sure you got HyperX everything. HyperX everything. Can we get a Virge tutorial on how to use air roll right and left settings and how to get used to it? Yeah, I could definitely work on something like that in the future, but I'd say it's difficult to explain. More than anything, I would just say do
Yeah.
it. Like the best way to get better at it is to just do it, commit to it, and feel it out for yourself.
That's what I said earlier. What I did is literally turn my normal arrow button off, and all I could use was the arrow right. So I was just flying around in free play using arrow right only, and I think that's one of the best ways to also start with it.
What was the best LAN outside of RLCS? I wasn't there, but Gold Rush looked like a lot of fun when that was a thing.
I wasn't there either, I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
Gold Rush looked like it was a lot of fun. BTS too looked like it was a lot of
um,
fun.
it was, but it was very long days. BTS, it
Yeah,
wasn't. It wasn't. I don't think that was
just
the
do
best
it
LAN.
forehead.
I honestly
Uh,
don't know which one.
other
I
than
think I
RLCS.
think DreamHack, I guess.
Yeah,
Or
DreamHacks were
no,
always
no, no,
great.
no, no. E-League. E-League has to be
Okay.
like best produced and like how well it was made and like produced by everyone. That was a good LAN.
What is air roll right good for? When do you use it? It is good for being able to. So when you're using an air roll bind like left or right versus just the regular free air roll with your joystick, uh, using the bind air roll right or left allows you to move your joystick while you're air rolling, meaning I don't have to be holding my joystick to the right to air roll right. So I can move myself on a different axis than if I was just air rolling. And it just allows for a different angle of movement that you can't get with regular air roll. It's always going to be like a very small change, but at the highest level, those small changes make a huge difference. So it allows for another angle of movement, another axis of movement that you can't normally get.
If there was a
Either
LAN this season, oh, what? Go. Yeah.
I was reading a question. Do either of you play any
Ah,
other games competitively or for fun outside of Rocket League?
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, a bunch of
Warzone.
games.
Yeah, I play
Counter Strike.
TFT. Now that it
Uh,
came out on mobile, I'm playing TFT a lot. It is
are
fun on mobile.
you serious? No.
Yeah,
I gave up. I gave up on TFT a long time ago.
really.
Oh, actually, Valorant, bro. That's the game.
Oh, I can't
Um,
wait. Yeah, I'm excited.
yeah.
Minecraft. Yeah, you got a house on Minecraft.
Yeah. No, I kind of stopped playing Minecraft some time ago, but yeah,
If there
Minecraft's also
was
fun.
a LAN this season, who do you think would be the top four and who would win? So
Yeah, that
top
was the one I
four.
was reading.
Hmm.
In my opinion, it would be us, G2, Vitality are the main three.
Maybe NRG, maybe SSG.
And no, Energy. I think they will play better on LAN than they did probably on
Yeah.
League Play or regionals.
And who,
So I
out of all
guess
those, who do you think would have won it?
any of us, in my
Yeah.
opinion,
It
any
it
of us.
depends on the day.
Literally 50-50-50 on all those teams.
Yeah, that's true. Rocket League's very volatile.
Yeah.
Panda, when are you gonna stream again?
All right. Was that all the questions?
That's the end of the.
No.
How is it
No.
playing at LAN, and how do you keep your nerves down?
Um, I think you have to get used to it. That's the main thing. Your first LAN, second LAN, always gonna be a little nervous. But like noticing myself, like every LAN I've played, it's gotten less nerve wracking. So it's basically getting used to the nerves and getting used to playing on stage and getting used to everything, getting used to the crowd filling you up, like cheering you up. Like you just have to get used to anything, basically.
Yeah, that was my first LAN in Madrid, and I don't know how they control their nerves as players. Because as a coach behind them, I wasn't even playing, and my heart was beating out of my chest. So I don't understand how he's able to just stay so calm. But I guess it is just you get used to it. You start to understand what to expect.
I gotta be honest. I've always we have a saying in the Netherlands. I've always been a chill frog, basically translated. But yeah, that's like a saying in the Netherlands that I'm always pretty calm in all those situations, even before I started playing and stuff.
Yeah,
So I think it also depends on a person how nervous someone can be, because I think there still
I'm
is
sure.
players that get very nervous, even though they've played like 10 lands. I think.
Yeah,
But yeah, I've always been pretty
I
chill, I
get
guess.
I get nervous when Katie's standing behind me watching me. So I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
having like a whole
Okay.
room of just thousands of people sitting there watching how you play.
I guess so.
Is replay analysis the best way to improve? I would say it is one of the best. Absolutely, it's up there.
Yeah.
There's nothing that gives you the perspective that a replay does, because in Rocket League you only have a split second to make your decisions, and you're never going to make a decision that you think is wrong, obviously. So when you go back into the replay, you can pause it and you can take as much time as you want to go over a situation and figure out what you actually should do given time and understanding, and then those start to come back to you in the game. You start to remember what you talked about in replays in that moment, and you don't have to think about it. You know exactly what decision you have to make because you went back and thought about it. Panda, explain your views on Fennec versus Dominus. Seen you switch it up more lately, and I miss that Dominus.
Honestly, in my opinion, like I think Fennec is the card for me right now, but I can still switch to Dominus, still be good on it. Like it's just, I feel like the Fennec has more control, which I said earlier in the stream as well, and that's why I picked it.
And
It's
to be fair, you've
also,
got more time on that hitbox.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. I played Octane literally all my whole career except for last season, up to last season, like against Barca, I played Octane. So and Fennec has that hitbox, so I guess I'm used to the hitbox as well from Fennec. But I feel like Fennec has more control, even though I can still play very good on Dominus. So like, don't be surprised if I switch it up this season or the next season. Like I might as well, like, or I might do it when I'm not feeling the
he might
Fennec.
he might flakes it.
Yeah,
Just use
my
whatever
flex.
car.
No. Okay, there's a difference
Um,
between changing two cars or changing every single merc. You
Panda,
know,
Panda, how is the cooking going?
pretty good. I literally went to the store today to buy some more like groceries about for like baking. I think I'm baking some cookies. Make
Okay.
another cheesecake. Yeah, it's going pretty good.
And
Yeah.
for those asking, yes, Panda does use an Xbox controller.
Oh yeah, I do.
Who do you
Right
think
here.
is the best player that is not from the RLCS scene? I'm gonna assume that also means not in RLRS. So like the best bubble player who isn't competing right now. Isn't
Um,
is it Juarez? Is it how do you say it? Juarez?
what?
How
Oh,
do you, is it
Giroux, you mean? Oh,
Giroux? Okay, Giroux.
no, I have no clue.
Isn't he up
I
there?
mean, mechanically, Giroux, yeah, maybe, but uh, like you could put Giroux in an RCS team and then you could suck ass. You know, you never know. You never know till they actually get in the league and get to practice. Like Astro was a wild card, like, and you
Yeah.
know, he
Super
after
sub
some
Bilbo.
point,
Yeah. Bilbo. Everybody,
oh
Bilbo.
yeah, Bilbo is pretty good, pretty good. Yeah.
I use the PlayStation 4 controller. Panda, why does Don Juan turn everyone against you in Pummel Party and Virge? Who has been the easiest and most difficult to coach throughout your time as a pro? So why does Don Juan turn everyone against you in Pummel Party, Panda?
That's all I have to say. He's all he does is you know, cheat to win, and that's not my thing, you know. But you know, normally he wouldn't be able to win from me, but you know, if I guess he has to cheat, you know, manipulate people, and you know, I do.
um, the hardest to coach throughout my time as a pro. I've only coached 2 teams professionally, which was Allegiance and Dignitas. And Dignitas was easier to coach. Allegiance was harder to coach, not for the reasons you might think. Allegiance, I
Why
was
was it?
friends with. Allegiance,
Why was it harder?
I was friends with the players before I became their coach, and so it was harder for them to see me as a coach, and so I think it was harder for them to listen to me. So it was harder for me to get through their heads that I knew what I was talking about. So for the most part, and I love those guys; they're great. And afterwards, they've all said to me like, "Hey, we wish we listened, and we wish that we, you know, while we were a team, we wish we worked on stuff with you." But in the moment, I think that they were just in the mindset of, we wouldn't be pros if we didn't know what we were doing. So obviously we know what we're doing.
Yeah, and there is a difference. Like he was friends with them, and he's not friends with us. You know, like we, you know, we don't want to get involved with
Yeah.
Virge. You know,
Right. So they have
yeah.
a much higher level of respect for me. There's a much higher level of respect. They see me as
Sure.
above them because I'm so smart. So
It's,
yeah, no,
yeah.
it's been easier for me
Okay.
to coach Dignitas just because the level of players as well, like they're a higher caliber players. They've got more experience minus Astral, but bringing him onto a team with experience, it was easier to kind of get them to mold into the play style that I thought would work for them. And they're also good that it was as easy as just telling them what they need to do, and they made those fixes. Mel's saying, "Don't cuss, dude. Don't cuss. No cussing."
But okay, almost.
She also asked favorite memory with Mel at LAN. I liked the escape room. That was a lot of fun
Yeah, that
in
was fun. True.
Montreal.
True. That was fun. I think we didn't do much of those things, you know, like how do you say it, activities as a team, and like that
Mhm.
was pretty fun to do.
Yeah, that was a good one. Who did the most work with Astral's mentality, Verge, the team, or himself? I think it's an equal effort from all of us. I think that we all have invested a lot of time into helping him and him focusing on it himself, and not to take away from anybody else because we've all got stuff to work on. But for him, that's one of the things. And I think that he's been putting a lot of work into it, and we've been putting just as much work into it, trying to help him.
Do
Panda,
you
if
want to play with Pashi 90 again? Okay.
the OG man, the OG.
If he wasn't stuck in like season 1 mechanics, maybe, yeah. But no, Pashi was a good guy. It was fun being on his team, and he, back in season 2, it was some good times there.
Finally being on a team with somebody who's just as tall as you.
No, Pashi was way taller, bro.
Was he?
Diva was even taller, actually. I think.
Really?
I think Diva was taller than Pashi. I'm not sure.
Really? Devo?
Yeah. What do you mean? Diva's huge. You don't know?
Is he? I
Yeah,
don't
he's
think I've
tall
ever
as
seen him
hell.
at land.
Diva's tall as hell. But yeah.
Panda, if you weren't a Rocket League pro, would you be a pro footballer for FC Twente? Is that how you said Twente? 20?
Oh, what? What did you
If
say?
you
Sorry.
weren't a pro Rocket League player, would you be a pro
Oh,
footballer?
wouldn't be for FC Twente, that's for sure. PSV would be my club. It's my Eindhoven,
Some people
my
say
home city.
you should play more ones than free play. What do you think about that? I mean, it just depends on what you need to focus on individually, but I don't think that there's ever a you should do ones more than free play for everybody. I think it just depends on what you have to work on individually. Ones is definitely a really good place to practice individual play, though.
Yeah.
Um,
Panda,
how
would you ever
does
consider being a coach to a team instead of a player? I would, if I
that's
would be out. Like if in a few years, or like no. Let's say 30 years, because I'm gonna be a pro for a long time, Yeah. But no, like yeah, if I wouldn't be a pro anymore, I would consider being a coach. Yeah,
I've actually
because I
wondered that myself.
think I have a brain good enough to
Yeah,
be a coach.
I would say you have a brain, but you
Okay,
definitely have
buddy, let's
something. You have something going on.
1v1 right now, buddy.
um, Panda, would you ever? Okay, that was a question you just read. Is there? Panda, are you gonna vlog next season again? That's a good question.
Whoa, wait, Bilbo. What are you saying there, buddy? You want to be
Questionable brain.
you still want to be our sub right here,
Yeah.
Bilbo? Okay, now what did you say? What did
Are
you have
you
a
going to
question?
vlog next LAN again?
Oh yeah, like I mean, I don't know about when
Confirmed.
Corona.
Panda has a brain.
I don't know when Corona's gonna be a little calmer down and there's land's gonna happen again. But if yeah, I told myself I was gonna vlog every event and land there was gonna be a Rock League like before Madrid, so I will probably.
How does the calm down Astral and the let's go Panda and Yukio work out in reality? Is it a perfect counterbalance? I think that was more of just like a one-time thing. I don't think that's very common for us to go back at like where Astral was like, calm down at Madrid. I think that he was just like ready to focus on the next game, and we were all just celebrating the game 6 win. I don't think that's a common thing that happens, but that was definitely funny. So calm down, calm down.
Yeah, it was funny, but in my opinion, if you have the time to cheer and let it out, you should.
Yeah, absolutely.
And back then, like we had 60 seconds, or literally after the game that we cheered. I think Astral should just let us cheer, like let our
Yeah,
emotions out. And then, after the 20 seconds that we have cheered, we can focus again. So I
yeah.
think letting those emotions out and screaming and all that stuff will work, or like will help you calm down in general as well.
Right. Yeah. That definitely gives you like that release of energy.
Yeah. We can go a little bit.
We'll do a couple
Couple
more
questions.
questions.
Yeah.
A couple more questions, and then we'll call it there.
Let's do how many questions? To 6, 7, 8?
Let's do 6. We'll do 6 questions. 6 more questions. Make them good.
Okay. You choose 3. I choose 3.
Okay. So Violent G says, "Are scrims is scrims a great place to practice for low GC, especially when you're not playing much threes?" Yeah, if you can find scrims against people that are your level or slightly above your level, absolutely. If you're a low GC, I would recommend six mans. Six mans is a great place to meet other people who have the mindset of wanting to win and getting better at the game for low grand champs, and it puts you in an environment where you can communicate team plays and stuff. So six mans and scrims are definitely a great way to improve even at that level.
Yeah, this is a side question. When's the Vitality versus Dick comps coming out? On Virge's channel, there already is a video on
It
it.
just came out yesterday. Yep.
But on my channel, I am building up to it. I just finished the Reciprocity series, so After this, the mouse will come out, and then the vitality eventually will be on my channel. Okay. Would you, Caleb and Turbo, do well in season 9?
It's a good question.
Um. Huh. Yeah. I mean, we. So the reason why we fell off is because we didn't evolve as a team. I mean, we didn't fall off. We literally only lost Cloud9 once and then Caleb left. But outside that, I think we had to evolve a
We
little bit
lost.
more. We had to evolve a little bit more. We were still playing very good. We obviously all have the qualities to be a good team still, like even now, I think. But
Mhm.
we would have had to evolve from back then to now. We had to change our playstyle and change everything because like the game or like the whole playstyle of Rocket League has changed since then.
Reborn, if you could rephrase that, it says, "How is the downtime at RLCS? Is it stressful or is it more chill?" Do you mean how is the downtime at like LAN? How is the downtime between games, or how is the downtime between seasons? Because I'll answer that question if you can be a little bit more specific with it. Um, are there going to be any roster moves we don't talk about? Roster changes we don't talk about until seasons started. It's all official. Roster changes go crazy. People go crazy over roster changes. What is the
What?
most
Oh,
promising?
no,
Yeah.
this is a good question. What do you think about the future of Rocket League? That's a good
That is a good
question.
question.
Right now, I have no clue what's gonna happen to Rocket League because of Corona. But yeah, we're gonna have to see and wait till Corona, what Corona is gonna do, and like when lands start happening again. But I hope so much Epic's gonna get involved more in Rocket League and grow Rocket League in general because it has so much potential
Yeah.
that has still
Um,
not like worked on, in my
yeah.
opinion.
I think that let's put Corona aside and let's just say things keep going normally. I
Yeah,
think Rocket League definitely has the potential to be the esport that is like mainstream that everybody can watch and go, this is a video game and I can watch it and I know what's going on without having to play it. So I think Rocket League's future is definitely bright. And like Panda said, if Epic comes in and kind of starts enforcing some more of their policies like they do with their leagues with Fortnite, maybe potentially franchising one day. But they've got a really big team over at Epic that could do a lot for Rocket League, and the potential is there. It just has to be utilized.
yeah, and I think they have to listen to the community a little bit more as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think
They're
that's a big part of it.
They could do a little better job at that, listening to the community and like what everyone thinks and implementing some things that the community wants instead of what they're doing
Yeah,
themselves.
I think like potentially like a committee of high level players or staff to reference to for updates about the game that would affect the high level, like just having a X amount, like 10 pros that they go to and say, hey, we're thinking about this change, what do you guys think? Or hey, what do you guys think are some changes that could be made? But
Yeah.
that whole community involvement is definitely going to help the game grow more.
Okay, your
Some
question.
pros say that Rocket League needs more trash talk and interesting drama. Do you agree? Yes. I think that everybody in the Rocket League scene is a little bit too soft, and I think that also comes from everybody being a little bit young. The scene is starting to grow up a little bit more, but for a long time, the past couple of years, the game came out, it was a much younger audience on average, and so a lot of those players are a lot more emotional, and so there's a lot more hard feelings to it when it happens versus understanding that it's just banter. But as the scene is starting to mature a little bit more, I think that we're seeing more and more of that trash talk being friendly trash talk and less of like taken personally. And I
Yeah,
think it's good content.
I mean, you could argue that it should be like Call of Duty, like Call of Duty back in the day. I don't know how it is now, but Call of Duty was like some next level trash talking. In my in my opinion, that's a little too far. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
In my opinion, it has to be a little bit more friendly banter, all that stuff. Not like going personal and all that stuff. But
Right. Definitely stirring up some
yeah,
drama though is fun.
yeah,
I think we need to change spectating a bit to allow for more outsiders to understand it better because switching to Carby too often is distracting. Yeah, I could see maybe like a soccer style where the camera is like staying in an outside perspective from every player. I think it is important to look at that player view and see what they're seeing, but I agree that maybe that outside view looks better to most spectators because they can understand. I think that there's a lot of stuff that we can do as spectator. How
Wait, but
long
what, Bilbo? What do you mean? Honestly, violent. You can't change. You can't
you can't
force
force?
motivation. What does he mean?
I don't know. Is he talking about uh, Psionics?
This dude said soccer.
Oh, shut up! Shut up!
Look at this dude. Okay.
Oh, he meant
All right.
Violent G. Okay.
Ah, okay.
Um, let's see.
Oh,
Do you
well, there you go.
guys?
Well, let's answer his question then, Violent G. I'm a guy that has a dream of
That's a good
becoming
question.
pro on day one. How to get motivation to practice as much as I can and not get tilted.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Bilbo's right in saying that you can't force motivation. You can't just like try to motivate yourself. It has to be something that you want. Like you
yeah.
genuinely have to want it more than you want other things. And I think that goes for anything in life.
And
If you want,
also, like in my opinion, like you want to improve, right? But you shouldn't take it as serious in the start. I think you should just have fun in Rocket
yeah,
League. You should
hmm
just play and have fun and enjoy it till you get a little better, until you get to the top. You should always have fun. You should never get
yeah,
tilted. Like, I mean, maybe like I'm a special case, but like I've not really gotten tilted at all by Rocket League, and it's just because you always want to take it serious, right? You know, to improve, but you shouldn't take it as serious yet in the start. You always want to have fun and improve slowly. You
yeah.
know?
At the end of the day, it is a game, and games are meant to enjoy. You're supposed to kill time and have fun with it. And I think that you can't go pro in a game that you don't love, or if you do go pro in a game you don't love, you won't last long because you're not going to be putting in as much time as the guy next to you who does love the game and who wants to keep playing it. So to really go pro in a game, I think you have to find that game that you could spend as much time on it as you want to, and never get bored.
Yeah, I agree.
How long do you believe Rocket League will last in esports, and also will any of the players be participating in Rocket League tournaments before the Tokyo Olympics? So Olympics got canceled, right?
At least postponed, I think, or at least like the Olympics got postponed like
Okay,
till
so the
next
very
year.
least postponed. I
Yeah.
think Rocket League will last as as long as things are done right behind the scenes with Psyonix and Epic. I think Rocket League has the potential to last forever. Like look at League of Legends. It's a game that is, once it started, it seems like it's going to be an esport forever. I don't think there's a game that'll come out that'll overshadow League, and if it does, it might not be for a while.
All
And I
right.
think Rocket League has the potential to be the same.
Virge, two last questions. You pick one, I pick one, and that's it. Okay?
Okay.
All
Yep.
right, guys, send your questions now, and me and Virge are both gonna pick one of them.
Launch them. Send them. Full
Launch
send.
'em. Gonna have to wait for delay a little bit, but
Yeah. Give him a second. Give him a second. I do not like the Olympics. I've never heard that. I've never heard somebody say they don't like the Olympics.
I
How
see
are you
some
guys? I'm
great
good,
question by
Bilbo.
Bilbo there.
That's my answer. That done. We're
Okay,
done.
that's your question, Virge.
uh,
Okay.
Thank you for your leadership and attitude, ViolentPanda. Same goes to you, Virge. Your progress
Okay.
is awesome.
Who
Thank you, Sam.
who can chug a beer faster?
Not me.
That's
Not
me.
me. Yep.
I
I
guess
don't
that's
drink.
me.
I'm not a
Okay.
fan of alcohol. Virge, do you think you would cut it on the top stage? Absolutely not. I am not good enough. Mechanically, no. I also have issues with my hands for consistency purposes. I'm just not consistent, not good
Okay,
enough.
this is a very good question. This is gonna be my question. Did
Okay.
you have to give up other opportunities to become a pro slash coach? Yes. I had to give up school to literally become a pro. Because I couldn't do both. Um, I was in the I was in the second year of college. I was doing engineering. Which, in my opinion, I'm glad I picked the pro option, right? Because it's way more fun than going into engineering anyway. But yeah, I did have to give up school, and it was risky in the start. Um, but the main reason was because that school didn't want to support what I was doing, and I couldn't go to events because they didn't let me, and that was one of the reasons why I let that go. I don't know about you.
Um,
Did you give up anything?
Yeah, I mean, I gave up a lot to pursue esports. I moved away from my family. I moved to a state that I didn't have any connections in. I didn't know anybody. I gave up school. I gave up a management position in the job that I was currently in, and so I completely changed the direction of my life for esports. I was going, one way, and I did a full 180 to get into esports, and I don't get to see my family very often now. I don't have I don't think, this is uncommon, but my family doesn't really have any extra spare cash, so we don't travel very much. And so I don't get to see my family very often. So that was one of the big sacrifices that I had to make for esports. But it's
But
it's it's for the greater good of progressing my life and making my family after me, my kids one day, and my future wife one day, to have a sustainable lifestyle.
But yeah, Bilbo, seeing what you said, I did get second at season 2 before I quit school, so I guess that made up for, like, I got 12K, I think, from that, 13K. That swayed me into giving up on school more. It helped.
Um, so this is my question. I didn't mean to cut you off. You're still going. But
Go
my
ahead.
question is, why are pros starting to use air roll left and right? It's a good question because we're seeing a lot more people starting to do it. Panda just tweeted out that he's doing it. It is an option that you give yourself, an ability that you give yourself. You always want to be able to do everything. You always want to be able to do absolutely everything in the game, because when you can't do something and someone else can, that's just one advantage they have over you. And so air roll left and right allows for certain movements for your car, because you can air roll and use your joystick to move at the same time in different ways than if you just used air roll. So it's just another option that you give yourself to have that advantage over somebody else, and give yourself more options in every situation.
I binded it on my right bumper. But yeah, that's gonna be
Yep.
it then, right?
Yeah, so that's all of it. So I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors for Dignitas.
Yes.
Thank you, Verizon. Thank you, HyperX, Champion, Raynor Gaming, and Vi. We really appreciate the support that you guys give us with the organization. You make our dreams literally possible. Literally, you make our dreams possible.
Go down in the description right here from Twitch. There's Twitter from Dignitas. Follow Dignitas everywhere. There's
Yep.
more of us on the Dignitas channels, and
Make sure that if you are getting anything from HyperX or anything from the Dignitas store, we use code Virge. Code Virge.
no,
All
no.
right.
Code ViolentPanda. Right there. ViolentPanda.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us while we do this AMA. We really appreciate you guys. Appreciate the questions. We appreciate all the love and support you guys give us. But that's going to be it for us. We hope you guys have a wonderful day and you guys are staying safe.